What does welcome back to Reviews with Jake, where I just got done watching Halloween Kills. Halloween Kills is the direct sequel to the 2018 Halloween film, which was the direct sequel, allegedly, to the original 1978 film. Every other Halloween film, I guess, can go f*** itself. This picks up immediately after the 2018 film, Still Halloween Night, in which Michael Myers is continuing his mayhem. The entire town has been sitting on the events, the trauma of the first film for 30 years because, again, every other Halloween film is irrelevant, and they learn of his return and decide to rise up and face him. Little bit of context on this one, I'm not the biggest fan of the slasher genre. It's just not really my cup of tea. I like my horror to have a little bit more meat on the bone, some of that deeper, soul-shaking shit. I actually watched the Movies That Made Us episode about Halloween before watching this movie, and I loved it. Granted, I usually enjoy all of the episodes of that show, but still. It was and is an iconic staple film in the horror genre, but beyond that respect, just doesn't do a lot for me. I will watch the early installments of some of these massive franchises solely for the respect, the nostalgia factor, but beyond that, the ones that I actually really enjoy are the later installments because they are just dumb as hell. There is seriously nothing better than the Halloween season approaching, getting ready for it, watching a dumb as hell, over-the-top, bloody horror film with a bowl of popcorn and a bunch of beers. Now, saying all that, how I felt about the 2018 Halloween film didn't really do much for me. It was very competently made, but beyond that, I didn't think that it revolutionized the game like everyone was toting it to do. At the end of the day, it just kind of felt like another slasher movie. I know a lot of Halloween purists out there will disagree with that, but that's how I saw it. But this one actually had my hopes up, surprisingly. Based on what the 2018 Halloween gave us, I really had no interest in seeing a sequel to that story, that vision for the franchise. But having a whole town be put against Michael Myers, that's interesting. And slapping the title Halloween Kills on it? Okay, I guess this is gonna be a bloodbath. The 2018 film had a tinge of ridiculous comedy, a little bit of humor to it. Danny McBride returns again to help write it. I don't know. Maybe there's something there. I don't want another Halloween film that likes to smell its own farts, thinking it's reinventing the wheel. Just give us a bloody-ass, ridiculous, creative, over-the-top time. That's all I wanted from this film. And the pros start right there, because this film has a lot of blood and a high body count. Lots of people die in this film, and the brutality is in abundance. I went into this movie hoping to see both of those things, and I was not disappointed in that regard. I have my qualms about it. I'll get into that later, but I just want to address that they did not hold back any punches, and I appreciate them for that. They indeed let Michael Myers go on a killing rampage, and the blood looked good. Props to the makeup and prosthetic department. Also props to our director, who also directed the 2018 installment. This is a very atmospheric and competently made film. Why does one push play on a Halloween film? To see a psychopath running around a town, Halloween decorations all over the place, killing people. The babysitter murders, right? So naturally they had to prop out a town to make us feel like it's the Halloween season, that eerie, creepy night of the year. Ooh. And I thought they did a damn good job. It really set the tone with some great camera work and some strategic lighting. You can definitely feel that the director really cares about this franchise through Easter eggs, references, treatment. I mean, that really does matter. I recently watched the trailer for the new Resident Evil reboot film, and I listen to the director's commentary. I'm like, okay, this guy loves Resident Evil. And while the film does not look perfect by any definition, I do feel like I can put my trust in his hands because we have that common ground. And any decision he may make that diverts from expectations, I know that he knows the weight of that decision. It's a matter of respect, like you're playing in someone else's sandbox, so you can't just do whatever the hell you want. And I felt that with this film. Our director clearly loves this franchise, and he directs these films as such. And to see someone really care, really truly passionate about a project, I don't know, there's just something cool about that. I'm sure he got goosebumps to hear John Carpenter's soundtrack being played over the shots that he composed, along with the other fantastic soundtrack moments. Like the last film, the synths in this film gave it a real throwback vibe that made it feel like a classic horror film. What was also very classic horror movie was the campy comedic vibe that the film possessed. The 2018 film had it as well, and I think it's a smart decision. I think it kind of sets the tone and the expectations appropriately appropriately for people to watch as to what they expect from the story. You are here to see a lot of blood and guts, not to see an Emmy-nominated film for writing. Do not get it twisted. When I see Stewart from Mad TV running around a house playing a character known as Little John, no, not that Little John, living and working together with a character that responds to Big John, I mean, that kinda is what this movie is, and for the most part, it does not hide from it. However, there are exceptions. Sometimes they get away from that, and that leads me to the cons. For as big of a body count and bloody time as this movie is, for all of the comedic elements, there are still plenty of moments where this movie just tries to take itself so damn seriously. Teaching us lessons about mob mentality, jamming tragic backstories of characters that do not land down our throat, having Laurie Strode narrate a dramatic monologue over top of our epic conclusion. Pick a damn lane. You can't have a silly ass movie and a serious movie. It doesn't work like that, especially in a movie like this. Just lean into the absurdity. You have all of the ingredients. Hell, you even sidelined Laurie Strode throughout most of the damn movie. This movie, for the most part, is this town comprised of people we do not give a damn about fighting Michael Myers. The closest thing to real character depth that we actually care about spends most of the runtime hanging out in a hospital. Why are we wasting any of the runtime trying to have these brooding, serious moments under these conditions? The acting is awful, the writing is terrible, the characters are dumb as hell. These aren't exactly elements found in serious films, at least not good ones. It just kind of felt like this movie didn't know what it was, and it was trying so hard half-assing two different lanes, and as a result, the film was hindered. What also hindered the film were some of the production treatments that they applied to some of the killing sequences. Whether it's massively over-editing the killing sequences, having way too many unnecessary cuts, or going to a first-person view of the people getting killed and having blood splat on the screen like we've never seen that before. The climax could have been really cool if it were handled differently, but instead we get a massive back-to-back close-up and mid-shots, no wides whatsoever to give us any context, proximity, to know how the hell Michael Myers got out of this situation to begin with. Oh, and all of these close-up and mid-shots, slow-mo. Cool. As great and respectful as the director was during some of the kills, he just made some decisions that just weren't good, especially during that climax. For most of the film, I was very mad, just not really excitable at all. All of a sudden, the stage is set for this climax. My tail starts wagging. I'm like, damn, it is about to go down. And if you strictly look at the blood and the body count, yeah, it delivered, but the presentation just could have been better. What also could have been better was the creativity behind the kills. I mean, yes, they are very bloody and graphic, but at the end of the day, they're kind of dull. Most of the kills were just Michael Myers stabbing or slamming their head off of something. At least stuff them in a sleeping bag. I mean, hit him against a tree. I don't think there was a single kill in this movie that I have not seen in another film. I mean, yes, it was memorable, but it was mostly because there was a lot of blood. Yes, I remember the scene where Michael Myers pushes his thumbs through someone's eyes. Yes, it was very bloody and gross, but we've seen it before, and it wasn't even bloody enough to make it the crowning kill of this variety. Oberyn Martell holds that cake, that poor melon-headed bastard. A gratuitous amount of blood just does not hide or cover up the fact that the kills in this film were not creative at all. At the end of the day, this is a slasher movie out slashing, regardless how much blood you throw on it. All in all, this movie was painfully average. If you're a Halloween fan and a slasher movie fan, maybe there's something there, but for me being neither, kind of fell flat. I'm going to give Halloween Kills a C. But that is just me. What do you guys think? Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below. And make sure to subscribe to this channel to stay up to date. New videos coming real soon. Stay safe. Thanks for checking out.